So LinusTechTips did something for what is this?
There are 4 things that shall not be named. 1. Voldemort from Harry Potter.
Go to
2. Jessa Jones when mentioning her name in a mobile repair subreddit run by a tyrannical despot.
Oh.
Number 3, whoever the hell it is in New York State government that decided that they were going to file a false warrant on my business and then send all evidence into a PO box in Berwick, Maine, so that I would never be able to respond to it.
Wow.
Number 4, a video application developed by Fudo called GrayJ that allows you to follow creators, not platforms, across any platform of your choosing and view the videos in the manner of your choosing with complete privacy if you would like to, source code available, so that you can follow individuals regardless of what they post.
Rather than platforms.
Wherever
That's
they
cool.
post. So something like, I don't know, let's just something that would never happen. Like, I don't know, YouTube falsely taking down a video based on a BS privacy claim when you are factually going over court cases demonstrating that an individual who filed that false privacy complaint has scammed numerous people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Because that's never something that would happen, right? Right?
Yeah.
GrayJ, the app that shall not be named. This is an application that allows you to follow creators across platforms.
This has the same energy of, I'm not going to say what race the doctor was, because, the media and everything, I'm not going to say it. All right. It was a Jewish doctor. It's the exact same fucking thing. I think it's so funny. Legendary clip? Yeah.
You can view videos the way you want them to be viewed. If you want to view videos based on subscriptions and playlists attached to your account, you can do that. If you want it to all be local so it's completely private and you're anonymous, you can do that as well. Lovely little piece of software. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about a month or so ago is that Linus from LinusTechTips decided to do a video going over all these different types of really cool applications that allow you to get Google out of your life. This was an amazing video. De-Google your life. Part 1,
your life.
Start with Chrome.
I can see where this would be a problem on YouTube.
So many different things here, from browsers, search engines, email, photo backup, DNS. He went over one of the photo applications that we utilize here that we've also funded called Image. It's a photo application I've talked about a lot here that we did an interview with the developers on after funding them for the next 5 years. After this came out, a dad took photos of his naked toddler for the doctor. Google flagged him as a criminal, particularly when you're talking about stuff like iCloud recently, where it was found out that the delete button doesn't even do anything. It's very important that we have these alternatives. And one of the things that I really respect about Linus from LinusTechTips with this video is that he decided to make a complete video going over all these different alternatives to the large big...
I'm going to give maybe a really unpopular take on this.
Important that we have these alternatives. And one of the things that I really respect about Linus from LinusTechTips with this video is that he decided to make a complete video going over all these different...
this here has an automate. So basically, I don't actually find this to be problematic as long as it wasn't escalated and approached in a bad way. So this is something that a lot of people probably know, especially given the recent events that have happened, is that this used to be a huge problem in social media moderation, that you had real human beings that had to actually comb through all of the unironic CP that was on the internet and manually decide to remove it. And the emotional damage and mental damage that does to a person is indescribable. So because of this problem, Google and a lot of other websites have taken these tools and they've created tools to automatically detect this stuff and flag it as criminal matter, right? The FBI doesn't. So the fact that he got flagged for this, I mean, to be fair, it's photos of a naked toddler implies that it was working, right? It worked. And I think that you need a tool like that. You need to have a tool like that. It's just that when the tool is used in a bad way. But where'd they get the images from? From previous ones that they had found. Yeah, I mean, of course. It doesn't work. It just did. That's why there's an article about it.
After this came out, a dad took photos of his naked toddler for the doctor. Google flagged him as a criminal, particularly when you're talking about stuff like iCloud recently, where it was found out that the delete button doesn't even do anything. It's very important that we have these alternatives. And one of the things that I really respect about Linus from LinusTechTips with this video is that he decided to make a complete video going over all these different alternatives to the large big tech solutions that often abuse you, that mine your data, that sell you to advertise.
Police cleared him, but Google still banned his account, locked him from personal photos, personal documents, and a lot of his online accounts, since it was his email too. Google had to do that. Look at it from Google's perspective and think about this logically. technically this could be counted as child porn. Can you allow somebody like that to have that content on your platform? No. It's a risk. It's a huge risk. And any of you who, if it was your company and you were making this decision for your company or something that you had legal vested interest in, you would make that same decision. I'm sorry. Like it's a prudent and intelligent decision, even though it is a stupid example. Like that's all there is to it. Rare L take? No, it's not. It's not an L take. I'm amazed that I'm getting any pushback for this at all. How am I getting any pushback for this? Google escalated it by banning him? I don't understand. Like this is yes. You're not supposed to upload that content onto Google because it puts them in liability. They have to ban him for legal reasons. The police can investigate it and find out that it was okay. It's not a big deal, but they have to ban him. Like I'm amazed that I'm even getting any sort of pushback on this at all. This is oh my god. Let's keep going. Let's move on.
Is this that you are seeing ads based on what you were arguing over with your fucking girlfriend when you were brushing your teeth? Is that he's doing a video on items that he did not get paid for. Linus from LinusTechTips has a business that is foundationally based on advertising with over 100 mouths to feed, 100 people whose families...
There's a lot of people that are spending money on that, right? Did they unban him? I think you're digging heels on this one. Oh my god. We're actually going to address this. We're actually going to have to do this. I can't believe it. I cannot believe this. Are you fucking kidding me? You think I'm dragging my heels on this? If you ran that company and you knew that there were images that could be construed as child porn on a server that you owned, would you delete them and ban the account? Because if you didn't, you would be opening yourself up for liability from not only the government, but every other future lawsuit using this as a point of acknowledgement that you didn't do anything. You are so fucking retarded to think that this is anything other than a reasonable and prudent outcome. They had to do it. He didn't have to upload it onto Google. He chose to do that. He shouldn't have done it. It was a fucking mistake. Did he deserve to go to jail? No. The police decided that. But that doesn't mean that Google needs to provide a platform for somebody like that because of how risky it is, because of the precedent that it sets legally. It's unbelievable that I even need to discuss this. It's insane. I feel like I'm taking fucking crazy pills. Holy shit. Remove the photo, but no ban? Really? Okay, so let me get this straight. You have verifiable evidence that was flagged as CP, and you don't ban an account, and you think that's good? Literal fucking zero IQ. It's unworkable. I can't believe this. How can people be so fucking retarded? Oh my god.
That he is somewhat responsible for. And here he is telling you how to install ad blockers on his channel from people who have never sponsored him or given him a dime.
Yes.
That's cool. He decided to open up the minds of millions and millions of people to software that they have never heard of that may radically improve their lives. Instead of having to subscribe to something or use some sort of proprietary app that collects all of your data like what LG does when you use their fucking washing machine to adjust the temperature on your air conditioner, you could use Home Assistant because he showed you how to do it. That's awesome. And he didn't get a dime for that. Unfortunately, there always seems to be a penalty for doing the right thing. You go to his tweet, new video, de-Google your life, part 2.
Here we go.
Ad-free YouTube. Oh. This video has been removed for violating YouTube's community guidelines.
Why did it do that?
The application that would allow you to see that a video that I did on a contractor that has scammed people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars based on factual court documentation, YouTube deleted because they care more about protecting criminals and scammers than their own users. The application that
This is also a really good point, and I think this is probably one of the biggest L's that YouTube is holding right now, is that YouTube has so many ads, and the Google AdSense program, I don't know if they're like losing money or something like that, but like the Google AdSense program does such a horrible job at vetting people that, like, how many of you guys have seen a scam as a YouTube ad? Me? Everybody's seen scams. So there's basically no filtering for being able to get your ads up on YouTube. I don't think that YouTube can say that they are morally justified to block people from ad blocking when they don't even do due diligence in order to remove scams. Like, you literally have people that are like AI Joe Roganing some supplement. What? There's no way. Like, what are you talking about? Like, how can you possibly say that this person is wrong? Yeah, so they're taking money from these people that are scamming. And like, yeah, of course people want to get away from that. Like, personally, I think that using ad block, and this is a very unpopular opinion that I have, I think that using ad block is generally unethical. However, in Google's case, I don't think that it is. Because Google is engaging in unethical behavior in how they source their ads. No, ads are unethical. Then you don't have to engage with the content. You willfully engage with the content and you intentionally bypass the monetization technique of the content. That's like basically entering something without paying. This would not be justifiable in any other circumstance. It's just, again, if everybody did this, if everybody ad blocked, you would have no YouTube. You can't have that happen. That's it, right? ABCs? No, I understand. Like, I ad block too. But I am engaging in unethical behavior. I have no problem doing so, but I'm not also going to paint myself out like I'm a good person. Like, yeah, I engage in unethical behavior constantly. All the time. At least twice a day. Well, I don't know, twice a day. Twice every 2 or 3 hours. So yeah, sure. No, I have no problem with that, but I do believe that it's unethical. I think that if you look at it from that perspective, it is. But again, that's a side. That is a 1 hour argument conversation, right? The point is that with Google explicitly, Google has no, I think, ethical justification to say that we should be obligated to watch their ads when their ads are literal scams. They are.
Give you that and have that associated with me so you could easily find it regardless of what platform I'm on. Yeah, that's the application that was mentioned in a video that got taken down on a 13 million subscriber YouTube channel.
Wow.
I will assume that this is a mistake.
Must be somebody misunderstand.
So basically, he uploaded a video on how to remove Google and how to use ad block, and then he got taken down for it. I mean, I think that that definitely makes sense from YouTube's perspective, and I can see why they would do that. But it's also important to keep that in mind. Doesn't this contradict your argument against Robinhood mentality that you had talked about earlier? No, it doesn't. But oh god, is this another fucking ban for somebody? Oh god, this is another fucking. It's another gotcha. No, it's not, because Robinhood is seen as a hero. When I ad block, listen, guys, do you know why I used to pirate things? Because I wanted to get them for free. I like stealing things because it makes things cheaper. I don't care about if it negatively affects somebody. I don't care about if it's a big store or not. If I can get it for free, I do it because it's cheaper and easier. I'm not the good guy. I'm not fighting against multi-billion-dollar corporations. I'm just an asshole that wants things for free. And that's it. There's no fine print. There's no justifications. There's no, oh, well, I'm doing it. No. I'm doing it, it's unethical, it's wrong, and I'm going to keep doing it until they make me stop. That's the way I feel. The Robinhood thing is the fact that people act like they're a hero for doing it. That's what I don't like. Villain speech goes hard. Hey.
simply the same thing that happened.
I'm a villain according to YouTube, apparently.
There was a video he did on the OSI model where they mistook him talking about TCP/IP for saying the N-word, where some manual reviewer that gets paid $1 a month in another country reviewed it, and instead of listening to the video, I'm not kidding, this is how bad YouTube is, looked over the video transcript. And then confirms that the transcript had said the N-word.
I can guarantee you the reason why this happened. The reason why this happened is probably because YouTube has some analytics program where people that work at YouTube are graded based off of how often and how frequently they process requests. And because their frequency of processing requests is how their job is determined to be good or bad, and how their performance is determined, then what their goal is to process as many requests as possible rather than to actually process and provide a good service. It's a KPI issue, right? Yeah, how many of you guys have a KPI at your work, key performance indicator, at your work that causes people to do their job in a way that makes them do a worse job? Too many jobs, right? Yeah, absolutely. And that's it. Like, I mean, we had these at the government a lot. Like, big surprise. So yeah, and again, big surprise. If you make somebody treat their, if you make people, let me think of a way to say this. If you make a job like a game, don't be surprised when people, instead of doing their job, play the game. And that's exactly what these systems do. And that's exactly what YouTube did. And that's probably the reason why it happened. It's because the YouTube person, the employee there, doesn't want to lose their job. So they're trying desperately to do as many reports as possible. Yep. Forklift operator here, it's a fucking nightmare. Yeah, like we had it really bad at the IRS. Like we definitely did. Like like even my dad would get roasted like all the time by like his manager and shit because like he was taking too long to process documents. Meanwhile, he had friends that processed way more than him. But my dad would look through everything and investigate it better. And he had like a higher, you know, like a investigative report or investigative ratio of like figuring out fraudulent documents. But it's not in people's best interest to find that because the process of dealing with it is longer. Yeah, it's quantity versus quality. Exactly. Yeah.
I didn't delete his chat.
Yeah, a lot of you guys, mailmen here. Yeah.
Let's assume the best
bad,
of Google
right?
in this instance. I'm sure that it's a coincidence that after 10 years of creating videos, that the first video that Linus has removed for a community guideline strike
What's that?
is a video discussing how to utilize software that gets you out of Google's ecosystem.
Yeah.
Right?
What a surprise.
It's a coincidence.
Oh, that must be you misunderstand.
Linus has 100 employees. His business is based on advertising revenue.
Right.
And the one video that I know of that has been deleted from YouTube for a community guideline strike is a video that he did advertising pieces of software that never paid him. This is not a video where, okay, I'm going to risk getting this video deleted, but at least I got $80,000 in sponsorship revenue. No. This is a video where he's promoting.
It is crazy. I mean, whenever you really break it down, that Linus is getting, a strike for something that, like, people have advertised literal scams, right? Things like BetterHelp, established titles, things that were exposed to basically be scams. And they didn't get in trouble, but Linus is getting in trouble for something that isn't a scam. Well, I think there you go. It matters who you're scamming. You already spoke out against the platform he posted on? Yeah. I mean, he should have expected this to happen, but at the same time, it just, provides a pretty bad frame of reference for YouTube.
Numerous pieces of software, both Fudo and non-Fudo, that have not paid him a dime. These are pieces of open source software that are developed by kids in their dorm room and random contributors around the world. These are not people who have the money to pay for an ad on Linus's video, and he featured them anyway. And his channel got struck because of that content in that video. That, of course, I'm totally sure was an error on Google's part and has nothing to do with antitrust or monopolistic behavior on their part. Right?
Of course not. No. Well, how could they possibly? Like, it's crazy to me. That's why I think YouTube doesn't do anything. That's actually the real reason why I think YouTube never bans people and they do everything so randomly. It's because they are absolutely fucking terrified of an antitrust lawsuit. Because I think they have so much of a majority of the market that they pretty much have a monopoly. Another antitrust lawsuit. Yes, that's what I meant to say. Yes.
Must be somebody misunderstand.
He put his money where his mouth is with this one.
Yeah.
Lots of respect for that. His channel is part of a business that employs over 100 people. And the business rattle there is advertising. Not only did he do a video on how to get around advertising, but he also did a video promoting all these different pieces of software that gave him nothing.
Right.
Do you know how much it probably costs to advertise in his channel? $3, $10, $20, $40,000 a shout out? I don't know. I guarantee you it's more than the garbage that I get in my YouTube inbox because his channel has over 13 times the viewership as mine. And here he is doing a video
really
that
popular.
has a fairly good chance of him getting a community guideline strike or getting banned.
Yeah.
All to promote software that has never paid him a dime. Can you imagine if Linus's channel got shut down over the one video he did where he was not getting paid to shill something?
You step out of the matrix and you get unplugged.
I'm not saying that to make fun of him.
Yep.
I'm saying that, like, respect. You don't have to do that. It's not like this is a hill that you need to die on. But he chose to make that video anyway. And I think that he should be supported for making that video. And I think that the community should rally around that video and ensure that there is a transparent process for going over exactly what he did wrong in that video. And here's the part where
I think that, honestly, Louis definitely has like a lot more of a perspective of like accountability for corporations from like the public. I don't share that optimism. I only share in the mindset that I think these corporations are existential threats not only to governments, but in fact, entire cultures. And I think these corporations and companies need to be regulated and legislated in a way that's for the best interest of the public. And I think this is something that extends beyond ad blocker. It's something that extends beyond X. It's something that extends beyond minors on the internet. And it's so all-encompassing that it's almost like we're all fish in water and we don't even realize it. And it's crazy to see it happen. So I don't share his optimism with holding YouTube accountable. I don't think it's going to happen. But I do share his mindset fundamentally.
They get to have some fun because when it comes to Google, I'm really curious which attorneys have more sway. The antitrust attorneys that deal with their DOJ lawsuit or the attorneys that deal with stuff like YouTube terms.
I think the antitrust attorneys are at the top of that fucking pyramid, by the way. At the food chain there, yeah, those are the guys that you listen to the most.
Conditions. It seems like the ones that deal with the DOJ and the antitrust stuff are losing right now. But in the long run, that's going to get them. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that it is a coincidence that the first video that Linus has done in 10 years that got erased is a video showing you how to block ads and de-Google your life? Or do you think that maybe that just isn't just so random after all?
I think it's entirely on purpose.
I hope you learned something.
Linus could have easily expected that.
I'm wondering if Google's going to learn something about the Streisand effect. What happens when you delete a video from a 13 million subscriber channel that mentions the app that shall not be named? I wonder what happens to the user count of that source available application.
I mean, I'm gonna fuck him up different, man. That mean beat the fuck out of him and suplex him, put him in the camel clutch, break his back, and fuck his ass and make him humble. That I know, but I just said it different, man. Instead of I fuck his ass with my dick, instead I'm gonna fuck his ass with a beer bottle.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Oh, I see, with a beer bottle.
Yes, sir.
All right, because I was worried.
That's not gay.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Robert.
One way to find out. Maybe it's time that I learned something too. See you in the next video. Bye now.
It's actually crazy how good Howard Stern used to be. It like I think about it, like I'm thinking like, dude, it was so, like in like the 90s, and I watch clips from the 80s, right? And even the early 2000s. Like, if he was S, nobody else was even A. Yeah. Like, he was so good, bro. So good. What do you think about consumers complaining about something that about a company and still purchasing their products? Well, I think there's obviously time for people to put a perspective and, like, you know, to give negative feedback. I feel like there's a spectrum of that. It's not one way or another. But yeah. Remember the insane Dr. Phil calls you would do? I actually don't remember that. If you want me to be honest, I really don't. But anyway, so I do think Linus should be defended for this, and I don't think he should get a community strike. But I think that YouTube doing it makes a lot of sense, and I'm not really surprised that they did it. You know? Cancel one frame. Yeah, what do you guys think? Yeah, exactly. Is curious to prank call? Exactly. Jinder wasn't trying to call you on a gotcha earlier. Just no parallel. Wanted to hear your thought. Yeah, sure. And anyway, the ad block makes it harder to see. Yeah, I mean, I just don't really like the idea of people getting their videos taken down in community strikes for things that are not actually dangerous to the community, but instead dangerous to the company. I can see, obviously, why YouTube feels like they need to do something like this, but let's not act like this is anything that is in the best interest of the customer. It absolutely isn't, and it's very harmful. So yeah, that's my perspective. Why is the platform arbitrarily deleting Linus's video? Because it causes them to lose money. Louis totally right. He's absolutely right about it. And I don't think that we can hold YouTube accountable collectively as a a community. But I think that companies should. There's this video right there. I totally agree with him. But I understand why they're like, this guy thinks he can steal from us or show other people how to do it. Yeah, no doubt, right? I totally agree with you. Yeah, 100%. I get the company removing it, but it shouldn't be a strike. Yeah, I think that's definitely the way I see it too. I can see why they'd remove it, but I don't think they should strike it.